I feel like the moments that I feel like changed me, I don't want to share with anyone.
Okay, I'm choosing not to give you this letter.
That's fine.
When I see that he hadn't done it.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bert 91. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody where they suddenly just withdrew from you? It was going on well, and they suddenly switch, and they're now seemingly creating distance between you and them. It was going so well, and suddenly they don't want to open up, they don't want to share, and they don't want to let you in, it seems. Well, today we're going to break it down, because on Married at First Sight Australia, this is actually what happened between Athena, and Adrian. Literally that happened. They were meant to do a task where he was supposed to write a letter, and she was supposed to write a letter about their past and bring it together and read it aloud. Unfortunately, he decided he wasn't going to do a task. And he waited till he got to that particular point where they were speaking in the room and then told her he hadn't written it. So we're going to break it down so we can build you back up. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, because we're going to answer this question for you. Like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Stay hydrated. Listen, let me get an intro, and then we're going to go into the video, okay? Little Black Bert, you know what time it is. Alrighty, so we're talking to you guys obviously about what happened between Adrian and obviously between Athena. And what happened was that he was supposed to write this letter and he didn't end up doing it, and he actually withdrew. But I took some time with it, and I wanted to break it all the way down. So first and foremost, let's start from the very beginning, understanding that this relationship that they've built, first and foremost, Adrian doesn't want to be a father. And when I say father, what I mean by that, he's only a stepdad, because she already has a child, and she didn't tell him at first because she was afraid of rejection. And we thought it was just her, but actually Adrian shows us the signs that he's afraid of rejection, afraid of abandonment too. I think he's got more avoidant tendencies than actually our good sis Athena. And so what we're going to see is a bit of this power dynamic that happens between the two of them when it comes to vulnerability. Okay, so when we talk about this, we break it down from an attachment perspective, and then I'm going to break it down also from a communicational perspective as well. All right, we know that Athena was reluctant to share her particular perspective when it came to her being a mother, right? And now we've seen his reluctance to open his heart and what he's been through to share with her. And it actually caused an argument between the two of them, because actually somebody wasn't listening. Now, this is really interesting because most of us do this in relationships all the time, including myself. In fact, when I watched this particular part of the show, I did the exact same thing that Athena did. So I'm going to play this clip again, okay? And I want you to listen to what he actually says.
I feel like the moments that I feel like changed me, I don't want to share with anyone.
Okay, I'm choosing not to give you this letter.
That's fine.
When I see that he hadn't done it.
So he hadn't done the task, which is fair, and I understand why she was frustrated. But if you actually listen to the words he actually said, was the things that have changed me, I don't want to share that with anyone. This told me what I need to know. It wasn't about her. And a lot of times we personalize what someone does because we believe they're doing it against us. And so what did you notice that she did? Type in the comment section if you know what she did straight away. She actually punished him. So instead of actually listening, she got hurt and personalized it, then punished him. Now, at the beginning, I was with her. I said, I understand why you're angry. I get it. You're vexed. I get it. I would be a little bit hurt too. But then I had to sit back and be like, wait, hold on. Why is she actually angry? Right? We know that he didn't do the task. And we know that she also, took the task very seriously. She wanted to share her heart with him. And so when she was going to share her heart with him in the letter, and he didn't reply in the same way, it felt like a slight. And it felt like, if I'm taking it seriously and I'm opening my heart, you not writing a letter means you're not taking it seriously and you're not opening your heart, which is why she went into punishment mode. Well, I mean, that's not the reason why. The reason why she went into punishment mode is because that's what she's used to. And human beings do that a lot of times when they're not used to being able to not personalize a situation. Right? So listen to this next clip here, okay? Because it's going to be very interesting. This is what she was feeling.
Hand over our letters?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where's yours? Did you fold yours?
No, I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Go on, give me your letter.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say I didn't.
Look how excited she was. She actually let us know that, this is going to be her moment to really open her heart, tell him things about what she felt, what she's been thinking. This is her moment to connect. And remember, we've been talking about men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And one of the things that we've understood is that women talk to connect. So her letter was her way of connecting with Adrian. Adrian deciding not to write a letter is actually communicating to her in her mind that he doesn't want to connect. I mean, it's true. He doesn't want to connect, but he doesn't want to connect on that level. Now, is it personal? Is it her and the way that she is? Well, partly, but in most cases, he actually let us know in the very first clip what it was. He doesn't want to let anybody know because he's afraid of being open and being vulnerable. That's the major issue. But you see, our good sis took it personal. So when we talk about attachment theory and we talk about how there are anxious, there is avoidant, and the dismissive avoidant, and there is fearful avoidant, understanding how our attachment styles play a role in our communication and how we receive information, and also how we deal with vulnerability. In this particular case, Adrian was playing the more avoidant role. And instead of actually voicing out that, listen, look, and he kind of did, but, it got lost in translation, is that it's not personal. It's not because you haven't done something. It's not because you haven't made it safe for me. It is because I don't feel comfortable sharing. I'm not there yet to share this information with you. But you notice he didn't want to share that extra detail with her to let her know that. He just said, well, it's not you. It didn't even say it's not you. He just said, I don't want to share it with anybody. And this let us know there was a pain point in that area. Okay. And he went into the avoidance space of, I'm going to retreat and I'm going to do whatever I want to do and not care about how she felt. What he should have done in that moment was actually validate how she felt in that moment. He should have been able to, I understand. I get it. I understand why you may feel hurt by me not writing a letter. And I should have let you know. I should have sent you a message earlier on to say that, actually, I'm not ready to share some of those things with you. It's not personal, but it's just because right now I don't feel comfortable. I'm not in a space where I can be vulnerable yet with anyone around these kind of issues. I know you're close to me. I know you're dear to my heart. But for me personally, I'm just not there yet. This would have made it less personal. It's not about what you've done. It's not about what you're doing. But because he doesn't address that aspect and validate the emotions, he leaves it open. Now, of course, it's still on her also to still be in a place of not personalizing what he said. Because has she listened, like if I had listened the first time when I heard it, she would have heard that it's not about her. Right? But she made it about her. And actually what she's gone and done, okay, is actually nailed him to the cross. And what she's done is something that men and women do all the time, but I'm going to say for this particular purpose, that women tend to do with men. They punish men for not being as open as them. And you must understand that it takes a little bit of a while. It's a bit different for men when it comes to being vulnerable with emotions. It's not their natural language. It's not their first language. So let me just show you why I say she punished him in this aspect, okay?
Fair enough. That's fair enough. You're just solidifying the fact that there were things that you could have written, but I'm not the right person to write it to.
You didn't say you're the right person.
Yes, you did, Adrian.
No, I didn't.
You don't listen to the language you use, but you did.
Okay, that was one of two clips I wanted to show you. That was the first one, right? Where she summarized and made a judgment. And actually, a lot of people do this. Both men and women do this a lot, actually, where they summarize and make a judgment about what a person said. He actually didn't say that. Now, he kind of did, but didn't say that. What I mean by that is, after he explained and said, I don't want to share it with you, but it wasn't about the fact that she's not a safe place or the fact that she's a bad person per se. It was the fact that he's just not ready to share it. And she took it on, summarized it, and said, well, yeah, it's because it's me, and and then made it about herself and projected her own insecurities onto the situation. And a lot of us do this. Our insecurity is a fear of rejection and abandonment, and we project it onto why someone did what they did. We then want to confirm the bias that we have about ourselves and the projection that we have about ourselves onto their behavior. So if someone rejects you and you go, well, it must be because I don't look good enough. Well, actually, you projected, because what you don't realize is they never told you that you don't look good enough. You're saying that because you think you don't look good enough, and now you're projecting that as the reason why they rejected you. This is what happened here, okay? Now, as you saw, right, in that moment, watch what she done.
I feel like the moments that I feel like changed me, I don't want to share with anyone.
Okay, I'm choosing not to give you this letter.
That's fine.
When I see that he hadn't done it.
So when she noticed he hadn't done it, She immediately went into, well, fine. Well, I'm not sharing mine either then. She went immediately into punishment mode. And she did actually ask him why he didn't actually write the letter. And what he said was, because I'm not ready to share what has changed me with other people. What she could have been in a space of was still in inquiry. Wait, hold on. There's things that have changed you that you don't want to share just yet. Okay. So is it because of me? Have I done something that's not made you comfortable? Or is this something that's on your side? Then it would have opened him up to more questions. You see, sometimes we run to the judgment, not to the questions. The question would have been, okay, is this something that I've done that has made you not feel comfortable to share with me? Or is this something that's on your side? Then he could have been like, you know what? There is something on my side. I'm not ready to do it. Then you would have not taken no offense. But because she already made her decision, because she already personalized the issue and projected her own insecurity on the situation, that's where she ran to. Now, am I saying he's innocent? No. Because he really should have actually validated her feelings. Instead, he did something that he shouldn't do, right? Let me show you something.
Didn't want to talk about anything. Got no secrets, and if they're secrets, they're my secrets. It's known for no one else. It's not for her, it's not for anyone.
Adrian.
Now, this little smile that he has on his face, he had it on the whole entire time. Now, I do believe it's because he's actually not great at doing vulnerability, and he smiles and laughs because he's actually bad at being vulnerable. And it's his way of covering up. But in reality, the situation is that's going to be be read really incorrectly, that you're actually taking a piss. It's going to be read that you're actually taking a mick. So when he does that, he doesn't inspire safety on the other end for the woman either. What he's actually telling her is your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings don't really matter to me, which is why he said in the other clip, end of. And she said, don't say end of. Don't say end of. And he said end of because for him, he wanted to end the conversation. And she felt like she was not validated, she wasn't heard, and she was not being seen. And that process, if you do that several times over in a relationship, is going to cause the other party to drift from you emotionally. Now, this particular instance between the two of them, men tend to try and process things internally by themselves. But what our good sis did is that she processed his silence as rejection or his refusal or defiance to do the task. And all she needed to do was actually be in a space where she would ask a few more questions and she would have had her answer. Should have known that it wasn't about her, but it was about him. And he actually told her that. Had she listened? In fact, there's a clip here I wanted to show you this instance, what he said, right?
I actually didn't think this was a big challenge.
For you. I just don't feel there was anything like that could come to my mind. And the things that could come to my mind.
Now, if you heard him very correctly again, she said it's not a very difficult task. What she's done is made a judgment about how hard it is. She's basically said, no, it's very easy and you should be able to just do it. That's what he's hearing. When really she should be saying that, hey, look, I feel hurt because I did the work and I was really looking forward to being able to being able to communicate what I felt about you. And I really was looking forward to listening and hearing what you felt about me. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm a little bit hurt, right? By the fact that you haven't done the task because it feels like I've been robbed of that opportunity. That's what the truther is. That's how you feel. But instead we've gone to summarizing the issue as you don't want me. If you aren't serious about the relationship, then, and people do this when they're angry. They summarize without actually asking from an analyzing perspective. Okay? All right? You've got to be able to analyze. Right? Now, like I said, I do believe that some of his behavior is inappropriate because he didn't want to apologize. He doesn't want to see that he's done wrong. This is very, when someone's failing to see the self-awareness as to how they contribute towards the downfall of the relationship, they are a problem too. Okay? They are a problem too.
That's fair enough. You're just solidifying the fact that I actually didn't think this was a big challenge.
For you.
And so that key word there, for you, is really important. If she could just turn it around and say, you know what? You're right. For me, it is. For me, it was easier to do. What's made it difficult for you to be able to do it? Let me understand where you're coming from. Now, if you're somebody who's saying, listen, he should have just shared, I want you to pay attention. Are you a safe place? Because there's an extra question you have to ask. Sometimes you have to be able to say, they're not ready to share with me just yet. And I have to be okay with that, right? but I can still be assertive and let the person know that what they did hurt my feelings, but I'm still ready to receive when you're ready to receive. She could have still read a letter. She could have. She could have still read a letter if she wanted to, right? But she didn't, because she felt like he had hurt her, and so she wanted to make sure that he doesn't have access to her, which I understand. But in that immediate moment, it became punishment, because they're already in a relationship, and she was hurt by what he had done, so she withdrew her part. Do you get what I'm saying to you? That's why it became punishment. And what will happen is in future, he'll be like, well, I'm not going to share with you because you're not safe. What, you punish me for me deciding to have autonomy over me saying I don't want to do something. I hope that makes sense, because that's what we're trying to understand and break down for people here. You know, type in the chat. You get it, because I get it. All right, listen, mate, I'm gonna leave you and love you and leave you. And I hope you're enjoying these breakdowns, because we really want to be able to help heal, transform, and grow people. Look, conclusion is here. Let's not go straight to judgment. Let's stay in inquiry. In the inquiry state, you are balanced. You're able to ask more questions to get to the end and the reason why somebody did what they did, right? She did half the job, but didn't finish it. She started off by asking what was the reason and didn't go further with her inquiry to understand the latent reason as to why he's not sharing. And she would have found out that it wasn't about her, it's about him. And then she would have been able to rest and be easy. But listen, alas, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. You click on that bell button for notifications of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Okay, all right? There's a lot of things I won't do anymore, but I appreciate you.
Black, you know what time it is.